Hey everyone, we're here with another story time. I figured we haven't done one in a while, and I wanted to tell about the time I worked in a linen factory. So if you don't know what that is, it's like it's like they give you get towels and all this dirty stuff from restaurants. You know, they would using table napkins or anything like that. They would send it into the factory, and we'd have to clean them. But before I get to that, let's start about the beginning of how I even got the job. So it started with me at home. You know, I didn't really know where to work. And I was getting tired of it. I was lazy. I don't really look for jobs, but my mom told me about this career fair to go to. So, and that was my door, by the way. Sorry, but my mom told me about this career fair. So I went over to it, and I was kind of skeptical about it. I didn't really want to go, but I still did anyways. And I went around to all the tables, and I stopped at the one that was for the factory. And the guy was really interested. He seemed like he was really hiring like right on the spot. So he told me, "Hey, you come in on this day, and we'll get you started." So it wasn't really like too awful, I would say. It was kind of really welcoming, and it was something that I wanted to try, especially because it was near one of my favorite malls I go to once in a while. So I figured I might as well because I knew where the area was. And eventually that's what happened. So I went home. I eventually got ready for the day that I was supposed to go in. And at the time, I took a bus because that's the main transport I use. So I would have to make time to get there because I had to take two buses and then eventually walk there from the bus stop. So uh, where am I going with this? So basically, it was the first day that they wanted me in. And believe it or not, I know you're not supposed to do this, but I overslept on the first day I was supposed to be there. And you know me, I had to make up a lie. I had to be like, oh, the bus was stopped. I'm sorry I'm late. But it was really a bad look because I overslept and it was the first day I was supposed to go in. But I eventually made it there. I apologized and all that, and he wasn't too happy, and I wouldn't blame him because you're supposed to really be there on time for the first day. It's kind of doesn't make you look good. But this is a big bumpy path throughout this story because it goes on for a while. But basically when I was there, he went over paperwork with me, and we did all that boring stuff. Then he showed me to the station. So in this factory, there were a couple stations. They were the ones where they had I'm not gonna lie, there was mostly girls there, but they would work on the actual clothes like shirts and pants and junk like that. I'm guessing it's from the chefs because it's supposed to be stuff that comes from restaurants. So I don't know, but they had stations for them, and the factory is big. It was pretty big, honestly. And the station I was at was in the back, and it was all men back there. They had like females in the front, and they had males in the back. So we worked on the actual like cloth type material, like the sheets, just anything in general. Now I think about it might have came from hotels too. But every day when you go in, you basically had to pick a different piece of clothing, weigh it out, and then put it in the washing machine, and then literally wait till it's done, take it out, put it on the conveyor belt, which would take it to like the dryer, I guess you would call it, and then it gets put back into a giant bag and gets sent out back to the place. So there were some days where, it comes in small amounts, or it will be a big amount, and then you'd have to, work longer. And the job was already long, mind you, because I think if I remember the time correctly. I think it was like 4 or 5 in the morning to 11 at night, because I remember I took the bus, so it took me a while to get home. And I think the job ended around like 9, 9:30, maybe even 10 if we were staying later. And the job lasted from Monday to Saturday, so Sunday was really the only day I had off. So that was pretty suckish. And you only got paid every 2 weeks, so it's like you didn't really have the motivation because you had to wait a second week after you got through the first one. But so I did that for a couple months. I was there maybe 2 or 3 months. I don't know, but it was a shitty job. I didn't like it the whole time I was there. I got blamed a lot for a couple things because back when I first started, I remember there was this one time where the guy was testing the pump for the machine. So he said, "Oh, tell me when it blows up." And I was waiting for the thing to fully blow up. Little did I know, you were only supposed to tell him when it first started inflating. And I told him when it was fully blown up, and then the next day coming in, I found out he was like, "Oh, I got yelled at because the thing blew up and he had to buy a new part." Well, what do you want me to do? You know, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me the full extent. Like, oh, tell you, like, right when it blows up. I thought he meant the whole thing blow up. But that was one of the times I got in trouble for that. And we also had to take care of the cameras. You know, they would tell you, like, if a piece of clothing got stuck in the conveyor belt, you had to go and fix it. And if a bag got stuck on the conveyor belt, you had to, like, push it with this pole they gave you. But that was the most suckish part, because usually if we were standing around, he'd be like, "Oh, go find something to go fix or something." You know, it would be kind of shitty. And then there was the lint bag that we had to take out once in a while to the trash compactor. And what else was there? The chemical area where you had to actually go up there in like a full suit and pour the chemicals into the machine. So I think there was another time where I got in trouble because the chemical plant, the little area back there, I pumped the wrong chemical into the machine, and somebody came back and like noticed, and it was a lot that I pumped in the machine, and then all of a sudden, everybody was like, "Oh, leave the area, leave the area," and I got scared because I thought it was gonna honestly blow up the whole place, and I got in trouble for that because, you know, in my fairness, the chemicals look like the same color. So when they turned to me and they're like, "Yo, this ain't the chemical," I was like, "Oh shit." But you know, that was very nerve-wracking because I could have blown up the entire place and I probably would have been sued. Um, I think I think those are the two biggest times I got in trouble. Actually, no, there was a third, because we had another job where we had like the long wash machines that go through a conveyor belt, and the clothes would get stuck in the machine, so we had to like grab a clamp and like go grab them. And there would be mornings where I come in and he's like, "Oh, you didn't do it fully," and the whole system backed up and flooded. So those are probably the three things I screwed up while I was there. But eventually the job wasn't working out for me. You know, the boss got pissed because I'd come in on days too late, and it's not my fault because he had me come in so early in the morning. The buses don't even run that early, and he would get pissed with me. Little did I know, some people came over me and told me that, "Oh, you know, the boss was planning on firing you, you know, if you don't come in on time on Saturday." And I was like, wow. But at that time, I was on the phone with another job for a school, and that was what I was gonna do instead of the linen job, and nobody knew because, you know, I wasn't gonna go tell nobody. So when it was the last day, you know, I just went through the whole job. I did my stuff. I talked to the school people, and I was already prepared to leave this linen job. And but it's messed up because, you know, he used to call me different names. You know, the boss was very, you know, out there. You know, he told people, "Oh, this guy's getting a promotion." You know, that's not something you should go and say to everybody in front of him. But, you know, he was a weird boss. I don't know. And not to mention, there was a sexual factory that was next to us, so they made dills and junk, and I thought that was funny because I was like, wow, our factory is next to a sex factory, and I don't know, it was a weird job, it really was, but I eventually left that place. Actually, there was one more thing I didn't mention. There was a separate job that they sometimes made you do where you had to go to the boiler room and clean out like the sewer, like lint. I don't know, because the lint goes through the sewer system, I guess. So you had to clean that out, which was a plus because I actually found $20 floating in the water one time, so that was nice to me. But yeah, it was a shitty job. I eventually ended up leaving it, and I lied about it because I called my boss and I was like, "Oh my, I had to go see a family emergency," and I'm pretty sure he already knew that it was a joke because he was laughing and junk, but he didn't like me, and a lot of other people he was firing too, so we were just losing people, and hopefully the other people that go there they enjoy it because I sure didn't. But other than that, hopefully you guys did enjoy this story. I usually don't like doing videos like this because most of you probably won't get it or you just won't want to stare at a black screen the whole time. But I figured it's the easiest way to tell a story, and maybe you guys might want to hear it, maybe you don't. But just make sure you find the right job because I sure didn't. But I might have a couple more stories for you guys. But other than that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, I shall see you guys next time.